Welcome to Super God Masterforce Trivia. I'm going to put characters on the screen and you have to tell me who the Cybertronian alien imposters are.
私は地球人ではない。
Did this one shock you? This is not Optimus. This is Jinrai, a young Japanese man piloting a mech that looks just like Optimus. And if you're wondering, do they address the similarity in the show? Nope. No, they do not. The Autobots are never like, hey, isn't it weird that you look just like our deceased leader? Halt, TK. Yes, I wanted to use familiar words before explaining. Autobots are called Cybertrons and Decepticons are called Destrons in the Japanese shows. But as you can see from their insignias, same thing. I'll make the switch now to reflect the terms used in Masterforce. So now, how many of you have seen Transformers Super God Masterforce? It's one of the Japanese shows which the hardcore Transformers fans eventually get to on their quest to watch all of the Transformers shows. Or IDW fans watch it to see the original Overlord. Did I just call anybody out? With 42 episodes, this show ran from 1988 to 1989. If you look at it, it was the third Transformers show. So there was the original Transformers followed by the Japanese shows, the Headmasters, then Super God Masterforce, then Victory. The Headmasters is considered absolute garbage, and I haven't yet found the will to push through the whole show. But don't worry, I'll do it for you guys and tell you what happened in the show and to my mental health while watching it. But if the Headmasters scared you, you don't need to fear the following shows. Super God Masterforce, on the whole, I liked it. That's why you'll see me dropping more and more clips of it. Honestly, there is not much content for this show on YouTube, is there? The show just quietly exists. The episodes are all on YouTube right now for you to find though. I do prefer Transformers Victory because the Destrons are more energetic and entertaining for me to watch. I adore Leozak and Hellbat. Yes, I may also ship them. Here are 3 things that make Masterforce special. 1. This show introduces the Pretenders, which as a concept has been barely seen ever again. Except when one Pretender tried to be sexy for Sam in the movies, but it was very different. Originally, Pretenders are basically Autobots and Decepticons who can magically shapeshift. The Cybertrons can turn into humans, and I mean real squishy humans who eat and drink. They might be doing more than that because this Cybertron likes going on dates. Not projections, not hard holograms, not shrunken down with metal frames inside. Squishy, pooping humans. There's a lot of magic in this show. Their true forms are Cybertronian robots, but they become human as they please. And the Destrons, they don't like humans and have chosen the forms of monsters to frighten them. They also like to eat chicken and bones. The Pretenders are my absolute favorite part of the show. I love creatures who can blend in as normal and then reveal their true forms when shit gets real. My favorite moments were when the Cybertrons are hanging out with their pals but forced to become robots, or when the Destron monsters are attacked and pushed to fight as robots. 2. The playing field is pretty equal between humans and robots, Not like Miko putting on invincible armor so she can't be defeated anyway. Not like Sari never being human at all. Humans and Cybertronians face each other in the battlefield all as robots. Humans control mecha suits that look just like Cybertronians, so whoever passing by the screen while you're watching can't tell the difference between the human and alien characters. Of course, I wager some fans don't see this point as a positive. 3. This show is shockingly brutal. In the beginning and middle of the show, there are dull moments, but ultimately, billions seem to die in this show. This isn't your usual show where the Autobots stop the Decepticons before they do serious harm. This show lets the Destrons succeed, lets them kick puppies, push people into oncoming trains, blow up planes, wipe cities and countries off maps, complete global warming. When you get to the last 10 or so episodes, it's like the Destrons really get their shit together. Who was my favorite character? You might think Overlord, but it was Metalhawk. A lot of the time I do prefer the villains, but Metalhawk was like Star Saber to me, a kind and caring leader who fights only when he has to. The way they talk and behave makes me feel so relaxed and happy when they're on screen. Since the Pretenders were my favorite part of this show, I found Metalhawk super interesting, especially when he revealed he was an alien robot. I always liked him since my first watch. Although I'm posting Masterforce this and Masterforce that right now, this is not my first time watching because last time was when I dropped Browning videos. However, this is the first time I fully paid attention to the show. Now I can properly discuss it. In the first episode, Metalhawk, or just Hawk, reveals his true nature to the protagonist's child. I love that the kid doesn't even feel betrayed or distrust Hawk, but still considers him like family even after seeing his true form. Now, the Cybertron Pretender transformation has 3 stages. They must yell, suits on, and become armored humans. Then they must yell, Pretender. Oh, and the crossing of the wrists is necessary. I'm not sure what gods they're yelling at, but I guess if they don't yell, it won't work. Just how you can't attack someone without yelling what you're about to do. It's funny that one time the Destrons straight up restrain one of the Cybertron's arms so he can't complete his transformation. I think the start of the show was a bit wacky, like the Destrons just wanted to do random shit instead of slaughtering humanity. Like, they turn corpses into zombies with magic, which really surprised me, like, they can just do that? We at least get to see the Cybertrons make use of their middle form as humans wearing armor. There is an advantage to fighting in a smaller form instead of going straight to giant robot. The Destrons only go between monster and bot mode, but they prefer to stay in monster mode until pushed out of them. But I love how they're always smirking when they show their true forms, like, ah, you got me. Also, because in this show, Cybertronians can disguise as humans, it's no wonder that this kid gets so paranoid meeting this other kid. If you thought Raph understanding Bumblebee in Transformers Prime was unexplainable, well, Cab can understand animals, so now you have to cope with that. In episode 4, the kids are given bracelets and suit up for the first time. I want to point out that this may be the inspiration for the kids' power in Earthspark. One show has irremovable bracelets, the other irremovable sleeves, and both grant the children suits of armor. But in Masterforce, the kids can connect to vehicles and turn them into mechas to pilot. At the same time, we learn that the Destrons have recruited 3 delinquents and have also given them Masterforce bracelets. They are paired with beast-like mecha to control. The thing that actually bewilders me is they become the heads of their bots, but they fold up and hang upside down to do so. I think some look like they're breaking their limbs for this. How can you curl up in a ball upside down and be twisted horribly, but then and stay like that and fight like that? Yes, them transforming into heads is a Headmasters reference, and they tie in this series as a sequel to Headmasters by referring to Chrome Dome and showing other Headmasters characters. I know Japan probably loves their stat cards, but I find it hilarious that the kid bots flash their stats to let the enemy know just how weak or stupid they might be. And are these like permanent stats that never change, or could you try to work out your brain to increase your intelligence stats? The delinquent Destron humans get set loose into a city to cause some destruction. As the Cybertron kids are trying to put out a fire, they realize that they have to save a baby in the burning building. The Destron humans show up, fighting them and preventing them from getting close. But good old Metalhawk shows up and easily takes out all 3 Destron humans who aren't used to their robot forms at all. They flee and the baby is saved just in time. But episode 5 is when Wilder kicks a young girl's puppy and kills it. That's actually so sad to show on screen, and the fact that they bury it at the end of the episode. But then Minerva says they'll get another puppy that looks like the dead one, and the kid just instantly gets over it. Okay, moving on from that, it's so cute how the Cybertrons hang out with the humans as humans, completely accepted by them. And when they see Metalhawk in his jet form, they're like, look, it's Hawk! I like that in Masterforce, they actually name other parts of the world they go to. Think about it, most Transformers shows just have America and Japan. But Masterforce names other countries and lets us know exactly which one we are going to. Like Canada, Australia, Switzerland, Japan, France, China, the US, and Kenya. In fact, the Kenyan episode seemed quite respectful, showing us the village and its people and giving a good story to the animal caretaker guy. Consider Transformers Prime. They might say they're going to the Arctic, but do we know where else in the world they ground bridge to? You have to closely look at a map to find that out. Me, I think it's a lot cooler and educational to tell us where we are going. Credit where credit's due though. I loved in Rescue Bots Academy how they went to Ireland and talked about the Giant's Causeway. It would be nice if they visited other countries less well known by the West and portrayed them in a researched way. I'm looking at you, G1, and your Carbomia. Can we take the bots to Kyrgyzstan? In episode 7, Hydra and Buster are introduced as human Destrons with superior fighting skills to the Pretender Destrons. They're not Headmasters, but Godmasters. And instead of becoming the heads of their bots, they become the engines. Oh my god, their legs though. Oh, and they absolutely have to yell God on. Now what is interesting about the Destron Godmasters is they don't consider themselves as true humans anymore. They believe themselves to be an elevated, superior life form. But the Cybertron Godmasters, of which there will be 4, plus 1 more later on, they are proud humans and defenders of the Earth. The Destron belief that they are above humans is likely what makes them so willing to exterminate other humans. But later, they start questioning their identities again, feeling uncomfortable when their emperor, Devil Zed, starts talking about humans like weeds and insects. Yes, the Destrons serve this scary, glowing ball life form. It's fun to see a Destron jealous of humans and struggle to keep up with them. But my biggest criticism of this show is that eventually the humans become the main focus, and the original Cybertronians will get pushed aside as weaker. This episode has a robot fight between the Cybertrons and Destrons until Hydra and Buster are annoyed by their weak fighting. They're actually able to beat Lander and Metalhawk. The humans start surpassing the Cybertronians due to unlocking the magical energy powers of Earth. Not sure what happened to the Destron's magical powers of reviving corpses and such. Now their magic seems to be limited to shapeshifting. Meanwhile, the humans start earthbending, like, you did not expect to see an earthbending Optimus Imposter today, did you? Yes, I do find this weird. And this is the direction the show starts to take, which disappointed me because I, personally, was so captivated by the Pretenders. I love the moment in episode 10, where Hydra and Buster make fun of Diver for not being a true human. It's sweet that Cybertronians truly want to be seen as humans, when in most shows, Cybertronians just scorn humans as being tiny and squishy, not something they would want to become. The one hypothetical weakness of the Godmasters and Headmasters versus the Pretenders is that the humans have to take their vehicles everywhere to access their robot forms. But the show never makes that a problem and has them show up by plane or boat or some other insanity of their vehicles. The Pretenders are self-contained and can summon their additional mass anytime. Around this point, I noticed the sheer absence of the Cybertron Pretenders. The main cast has been entirely replaced by new human Godmaster characters. Before, we got to see Metalhawk taking the lead and doing battle and bot mode with his soldiers. Now, we more often just see Hawk hanging around the headquarters in human form. The other Pretenders just sort of vanish. And to me it's strange that Metalhawk completely steps down to make Jinrai the commander. Although Jinrai is the most powerful fighter, with his mecha healing from damage almost instantly, and his ability to use magic and power up into larger forms, he's still a young man with little experience. He was just a trucker. He found his bracelets by accident. I don't understand why Metalhawk doesn't remain the commander and Jinrai just be a soldier. The switch just sort of happens. Metalhawk looks to Jinrai for commands despite having the experience and thousands or more years of wisdom. And it's odd to me that even if the Cybertron Pretenders have no special energy abilities, they could still be battling alongside Jinrai and the other three Godmasters. The children, without any powers or particular fighting skills, still get to go on missions. Why not the Pretenders, who are still armed alien robots who can turn into jets and such? At a certain point, the show turns into fights between only humans and mechas. It's crazy. We're watching Transformers and being told that the legit Transformers are too weak. I will also admit that the show is not bingeable, at least to me. I got through it watching one episode per meal. The episodes can have a boring and repetitive pattern. In the beginning, it was the Destrons would try to destroy something, do some damage, until the Cybertrons chased them away, and the Destrons would be like, "Remember this!" Later, every episode is the Destrons plan a new trap to try to capture Jinrai, and then they are like, "Haha, our plan to capture you, Jinrai, was a complete success." And then their plan fails and they rinse and repeat. Only slowly do new elements get added into the plot. The whole show takes longer than it should, and you can cross out some episodes without losing anything. That is until the show does a 180 in seriousness. Suddenly, it's not about scaring animals and kidnapping doctors. It's Destrons going into cities and destroying them, wiping places off the map, firing a laser at Earth and fulfilling global warming. It's Destrons slaughtering the continent of America before going to Europe and killing a third of its population. This becomes the show where the Cybertrons can't save everyone. Cities fall, millions or billions perish. In the end, I respected it for that. Like, yo, they did it. The Destrons got their shit together. We get to the final episodes and it's just, damn, the world is being decimated. I don't know if any other Transformers media destroys Earth this badly. This is more than all hail Megatron. It's not about stopping an attack. The Cybertrons are desperately trying to save humanity from extinction. And still, I am wondering where the hell are the other Pretenders? Diver, Lander, and Phoenix? Metalhawk is the one we see sort of participating in battle, but he has really lost his strength in comparison to the start of the show. Twice, Metalhawk just gets injured near the end so other characters can take the spotlight. Masterforce really just abandoned the Pretenders as characters. It's all up to Jinrai, although at this point, he doesn't have to fight anyone but Devil Zed. Devil Zed is such an asshole that he even gets Overlord, the genocidal couple, to abandon him. Giga and Mega are like, look, fuck other families of the world, but we love our family. Do not fuck with our family. They betrayed Devil Zed and aid Jinrai in the finale. Jinrai has also ripped parts off Devil Zed, turning him into this weird-ass wither. As soon as Devil Zed is defeated, all the powerful humans who stole the show from the Pretenders lose their bracelets. Their mechs come to life. Fortunately, the Cybertron machines have good personalities from their hosts. They go on to continue the fight against the sentient Destron mechas in space. At last, the human characters can relax. I guess now the pretenders can step back into the spotlight as the only robots now, right?